My name's Ben Thurley. I'm a Christian. I work with International Nepal Fellowship. My faith really does inform the way I want to live in response to climate change, because I understand that the world is God's. It's not ours to do with as we please, but ours to love and to serve and to cherish and to look after all of our neighbours in the global village. I've been active campaigning and acting on social justice and global poverty for a long time, and climate change really became real to me as I became aware of just how significant climate change impacts were on the poorest people. And I met and made friends with people in drought-stricken parts of Kenya, in flood-affected parts of Nepal, people in communities that have been displaced by flooding and sea level rise in Bangladesh. And so just the personal impact of climate change on people who I know and love really made it real for me. And over the last few decades, just the evidence has become stronger and the impacts have become clearer. So it's been an ongoing process of incorporating a concern about climate change into my concern for justice and equality. I try and fail at a lot of things, but one of the things that I've been fairly successful with is to reduce my flying emissions by imposing, celebrating actually a 1,000 kilometre rule, which means that if it's accessible within 1,000 kilometres, I don't fly. I find a form of transport. So I end up getting an overnight bus or an overnight train to Melbourne or Brisbane when I travel there for work, which happens most months. And as a family, we have reduced our meat intake. We grow some of our own food as much as we're able in a small suburban plot. They're probably the big things. And I have a commitment to using public transport for my regular commuting, so cycling or public transport pretty much wherever I go. I think I've found a few things challenging in terms of changing my lifestyle to reduce my emissions. Transport has been hard. I've had opportunities for international travel and sometimes requirements for international travel for my work, and it's very easy just to say yes and almost pretend that those emissions don't count because I had to travel. For me, as part of living the change, I want to make two pledges. The first, and for me the most important one, is I want to regularly have climate conversations. I want to talk with people about climate change, about its impacts, about my concerns, and invite people to take it seriously, because I think there's a huge silence around climate change in our churches and our communities, and encouraging people to really wrestle with the defining issue of our time is a real commitment I want to make. And then personally, I'm aware just what an impact my diet has on global food production, what an impact it has on the environment and on greenhouse gas emissions, and through that what an impact it has on my poor neighbours in the global village. So I do want to continue to reduce my meat consumption.